Hi, this is another member mission president, as we like to call it, and the president today is Grace Farley, who is the lay leader in her United Church of Christ in Heinsberg, Vermont. All right, Grace, tell us a little bit about what you do as lay leader, because some people may not know just what a lay leader does.
Well, I learned recently that the lay leader is on every committee in the church, which was a surprise in part, but I have tried to work on a number of committees. And probably the areas that I'm interested in are the membership and working with shut-ins who are very valuable people in our church ministry, but because of health reasons can't get to church, but they really want to feel a part.
Very important.
And they were very gracious in sharing with me what they felt some of their expectations were when we, not too long ago, were looking for an interim pastor.
And there was some help there.
Oh, they were. They had some very helpful thoughts about it.
Good. My next question is, tell us a little bit about how you see God at work in what you do, and maybe a way to get to this is, tell me of something that happened that you did recently that gave you a lot of joy.
Well, I'm very interested in our church family because we have a very loving, supportive group. But we had been without a Sunday school for 1 year. And in attending a meeting, someone mentioned, we really need a Sunday school, but who's going to do it? And at first I listened, and then I thought about it, and after it had been shared with me about the concern in some people leaving because we didn't have a Sunday school, I decided that I would try to do something about it. So I started, and there was a little bit of question as to how I was going to go about that in getting teachers and even getting children. And there's always a question of financial support.
Oh, yeah.
But everything worked out beautifully. I talked to a group of people, people were very willing to teach, to commit themselves to a year with a partner. We now have a nice group of young people, averaging from 3-year-olds who are in the nursery through 8th grade. We have a youth leader who is very energetic and very interested in missions, and she is working and has formed a group, a small group of about 7, but that's worthwhile. It's something starting. And everyone was really willing to support and work, even down to the nursery where sometimes we have a problem with coverage, but when I said that I was going to do this, a mother came up to me and said, "You can count on me for one Sunday." And from there, another gal took it over, so we are now covered 5 Sundays a month for the nursery.
Wonderful.
And doing very well.
And did I remember recently you talked to somebody that was surprised that after doing it they wanted to stay on?
One of the teachers, one of the gals who was a bit reluctant to teach, but said, "No, I'll start, I'll help you," shared with me that she really enjoys it. She really enjoys it. And more recently, I've been working on the program or the slate of officers, which will be presented in February at our annual meeting. And again, finding very receptive people.
A lot of activity you're describing, and there's more. How do you see God helping you to do it? And maybe you run aground at times too and run out, so
well,
it's
important to me. The church family has really been very supportive to me, having lost my husband, and for a while I really was, as many of us too who lose someone, trying to decide how could the Lord have done that. And then you find that I believe the Lord has our life planned. And this was his plan, that I would work, probably because I love people.
Praise the Lord for that.
And I love people, and it doesn't matter age. Although I have to confess, once in a while, I do enjoy working with the children.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps more than the adults sometimes. But it's a stimulus. It's a stimulus, and you just have to keep working at it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Do you ever kind of run down and feel up against it?
If you want me to share with you the sludge experience.
Okay, yes.
In our disciplines group, there was some writings talking about river flow with tributaries and the water being very slow to travel through this area. And if there was not rain for a period of time, the sludge would start to build up, and people living very close by were very concerned about floods. But when I read that, I associated that to myself. Once in a while you get sort of down, and I'm thinking, that must be the sludge building up.
Mm-hmm.
And what am I going to do with that sludge? Well, I'm not sure people understand, but I talked to someone not too long ago, and I said, well, the thing I had to do was just get in the shower and get the water flowing. Get rid of the sludge.
Very rich baptism. Yep.
Just get rid of the sludge.
Uh-huh. And that washes it away.
It does. And I'd like to make a comment about a church service that we had where we had the opportunity to all be baptized again.
Oh, really? Hmm.
And that was a wonderful experience for me. I just went back to so much thinking.
Mm-hmm.
And I think probably one of my greatest supporting factor when he was alive was my husband, because we did a lot of things together church-wise.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And my children continue now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And this was a reawakening, revitalizing moment.
Mm-hmm.
Grace, you have been revitalizing to many of us watching, I'm sure, because there's a lot of leadership to be taken on in churches, and it's good to hear a good story. Thanks so much.
Oh, you're welcome.